castles, issue ones, tiny heroes by the ton, shelf light, midnight.
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of ToyStreet presented by House Hendo. Today I want to talk about the Valaverse. As you can see, right here I have my Super Musk. Thank you, Ramen Toys, keep making these things. But I also have the recent troopers in the new gear. We're going to talk about that a little bit. One, I want to say, there were some naysayers in the groups initially, saying like all the different vest styles weren't going to work and stuff, and I'm like, sitting there like, these work. These work. A lot of people forget, you know, these troopers are part of Republic Guards in the Valaverse lore. Like, they're supposed to be a little ragtag. They're formed by state militias pretty much, and then made official. Some of them are remnants of the National Guards or active duty military in the lore. But also, the diversity in a fire team is important. So, like, I got this guy. Standard, you know, kind of point man looking. But then I got heavy guns, because you need heavy guns. You need your squad automatic weapon. In this case, I choose a minigun, because, hoorah. You know, this guy right here. I put the Corpsman pack on him. Yeah, didn't mean to flip you guys off, habit. But, you know, you need a Corpsman, you need a medic. You know, a lot of people talked a lot of trash about these vests being different. And I'm like, no, you're going to have diversity in a fire team. I know a little bit from my time in Afghanistan myself. So, that's cool. I will say, these things are awesome. So, he gave you these Alpine guys. You know, let's just say these guys are from the Republic of Colorado. Alright, these guys are Rocky boys. You know, you got your more arid, musty, you know, say these boys are from like Montana or something, I don't know. Maybe parts of New Mexico or Arizona. You know, then you got some urban guys. Maybe these guys are from Detroit. You know, coming down and get done. Like, my whole plan for these guys is to make them like cooperative fire teams and displays with the actual core members. Because in the lore of Valaverse, you know, they're going all around the country. They're doing stuff. They're teaming up with other independent groups and stuff like that. So I like having these fire teams to kind of represent that. Also, in the pack though, there were color codes for the Recon Corps. Interesting choice, in my opinion, to do a colorway for the Corps, but you know, a lot of people got them. Yeah, it's good. And these vests do for everything. This is the Vanguard driver right here. He looks damn good with the belt and vest on. You know, this is the new trooper that comes in the gear tin. This is the smoothest Valaverse I've ever seen out the box. Like, I haven't done any heat, nothing to this since I got it. Perfection. Like, smooth as butter. I know a lot of people complain, oh, I had to heat them up one time. I don't really complain about that, but smooth out of the box is always good. Also, when I was at ZoloCon, I grabbed 3 of these bad boys. These are nice. I thoroughly enjoy these. I like the wraiths. I like the idea of having cloak guys in there. You know, of course, you know, like everybody and their cousins been showing off right now. I got my black. He's dope. Got him and several others in Zolo. Now, all things about the pack considered. I like how they have the little callback to 3 POAs for a show and all that. I like the number. I like having a figure. The issue, let me step to my right, is right here. Right here. This is the Maritime Corps. If you notice, I don't have anything on them. Reason why, because they had no specific colorway. Now, before you jump in my comments and be like, oh, why don't you put not almost break your figures? Yeah, I didn't. I just dropped the backpack. He's fine. But, you know, why don't you just put these gray ones on them? They got a gray base coat right there on the chest. They got, you know, black right there. Technically match. And I'm like, yeah, but then that'll leave me out with vests for the urban guys. So, the inclusion of recon vests, especially given that they got their own dedicated accessory pack, is like the only real issue I do have with the gear tin from Valaverse. you know, I do pop up in everybody's comment section, so I know for a fact. I mentioned the Bobby. I was really excited about this tin leading up to it because I was hoping, and I even mentioned them by name, that this would include Maritime Corps colored gears. He decided to include Recon Corps gear, which is nice. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that, having some diversity for their Recon Corps figures. But they already made accessory packs. I already bought 4 of them when the Recon Corps came out. I got them in combination. And I'm just gonna say, it's my one disappointing thing that I got nothing dedicated for these guys. Nothing. I got 5 of them. I was hoping I'd be able to gear them up, especially in time for the black. I was gonna make them kind of like a Republic's Coast Guard, do a nice little display with the black, hitting the beach, and messing them up real quick because they were denied access to a port, or they had gotten a naval asset that belonged to the black and they were retrieving it. You know, or maybe the black was just doing a raid. Who knows? Maybe they were just having Operation Viking going on. That being said, this is a solid gear pack. Like, he gives you everything. Like, there are 6 types of vests. You get these. It's like mop gear, you know, it's fast and, you know, you gotta be fast. You know, we used to call it fast gear when I was in. You know, that was just a pretty local term. I doubt everybody was sharing that, but that's what we called it, fast gear. You wanna go fast. Typically, you know, I don't like this particular vest style just because you should at least have a plate carrier in it, in my opinion. You know, just my personal experience. I know it may not match with the aesthetic, so don't take that to church. But please testify in the pulpit about getting these guys a dedicated gear pack. Like Recon got a gear pack and extras in this thing. Like they doubled out. I just want some stuff dedicated to these guys. You know, there's some really cool stuff you can do with naval response units. They can do some cool stuff, you know, like maybe like a Master at Arms kind of set for these guys would be dope. You know, but besides that, you know, besides showing off my Musk, you know, as you can see, I got some of my OG Black Ops Steel Brigades down there, Night Ops Steel Brigades. You know, I got some Operation Monster Force right here. Declan just busted Dracula in his lair. There's probably see some shots on my Instagram coming up. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show off real quick, you know. But hey, thank you for coming to check out the video. Please stay tuned for other uploads. I've been doing shorts and stuff lately, some memes, you know, doing some reaction comment. But I'm on a lot of podcasts lately, apparently. Kind of did the podcast before I started making these videos. So we'll see how that balances out in the fullness of time. But you can catch me this Friday on Same Time Toys, Smoking Joe's members only. So if you're a member over there, please come over, come check us out. I'm guessing being interviewed, you know. I hope they don't dig too personally. You know, I already let Shane know, like, hey, my medical records are off the table there, buddy. You know, but we're gonna talk. You know, give you guys a little background on me, some fun stuff. Not mentioned in background. Also, April 27th, you can catch me at Headcanon Unlimited. My boy Derek, he's a former air winger in the Marine Corps, like myself. Me and him are going to be talking some aircraft, some stories from our time overseas. I believe he was Desert Storm, or maybe he was first pushed into Iraq. I was Afghanistan, so we're going to bounce some stories off each other. Might even talk some military vehicles and lines. I have my own opinions on the design philosophy, the modern day, a lot of retro stuff, you know, not enough modern inspiration. Like DARPA and the military industrial complex have been coming up with concepts and prototypes for decades since a lot of the stuff in G.I. Joe came out, and I'm just saying there's a lot of material for inspiration. But hey, it's always a pleasure. I'll catch you on the flip side. Don't forget as well, every Tuesday you can find me over at Figure Fight Club over Mike Night. Until then, be easy.
Yeah. Pose 'em up, house hendo. Turn the toys into big cinema, let the frames roll. Plastic legends in the frame when the lights glow. Every click, every clip, that's a life goal. Pose 'em up, house hendo. Tiny worlds getting loud on the channel show. From the starships down to the dungeon floor. Hit record, and he give 'em more. From the box to the shelf, from the shelf to the set. He collect, he protect, he project what he dreamt. Every scar on a helmet, every crack in a throne. Just a piece of a universe he built on his own. Yeah, yeah. Pose 'em up, house hendo. Turn the toys into big cinema, let the frames roll. Plastic legends in the frame when the lights glow. Every click, that's a life goal. Pose 'em up, channel show.
Hey, thanks for hanging out for the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed some of the shots, some of the close-ups that I gave you guys, the new Valaverse gear tin. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to check me out on the recent podcast coming up towards the end of the month. And I'll catch you guys later. Be safe.
Turn a bedroom floor to a war zone scene. Little desk lamp like a twin sun glow. He say pose him up close, let the story show. Pose him up, house hendo. Turn the toys into big cinema, let the frames